It's windy now. May malunggay. Oh! Strong winds. Hopefully may malunggay still standing. Oh my God! Oh! It's raining. Oh, scary. There's some trees here. So it's already landfall?
Yeah.
That is still a possibility and something we'll watch, but you know what? We've got to get it through Florida first, and this is affecting the entire state. Obviously, not as bad as we're dealing with here in Inglewood and Punta Gorda and Fort Myers and Naples, but we're feeling the far-reaching effects. Over 600,000 are without power. And remember, this is a very long state, so there's going to be so many without power, even as a Category 1. As it moves inland, we're going to lose power. So I would say if you're watching us from other parts of the state, Central Florida, Northern Florida, you need to have your plans in place if you are to lose power, because it's going to take quite a while to get power back throughout the entire state, and that was quite a gust. I think that was one of the biggest gusts we've seen so far, and we're getting closer and closer to the center of circulation, which just means that our winds are going to continue.
Hello, can you get the power charger cords?
We're going to give you a listen here.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to charge up.
Hurricaneian just making landfall.
Oh, just making landfall.
Yeah, let's make sure we're charged up good.
Yeah. Oh my, just making landfall. That's so crazy. Oh, the water from the sea water, the shore, the water from the shore. Oh my God. Going to the city, you know? What happened to that?
Okay, well, what you're looking at is, see, that's the storm surge there. Okay, but you got to remember the storm is basically a big circle. Okay, so here it's pushing all the water into the area, but that other area, it sucked all the water out of it.
Oh my God, that's Fort Myers, right?
Yeah, Fort Myers is having
Because it's making circle.
Boulevard, and you can just imagine what the folks down in Southwest Florida are dealing with.
Yeah, that ain't fun.
Here locally, here in Tampa, want to show you what
See,
we're dealing with.
again,
Oh my God.
sucked all the water out of the
I think we're
area.
gonna go there, my love, and
No,
get
you're
some
not, because that's very dangerous.
some fish and shells.
No, because what happens is these people, they go walking out there, then without notice, like a tsunami, all of a sudden the water comes back in.
That you can access our streamed Bay News 9 on the Spectrum News app.
Wow.
That for you throughout the storm, and you can count
Need to
on
be
us,
careful there,
Yeah,
huh?
they do.
News 9 to be your calm.
Because they'll be staring, all of a sudden they'll go, okay, the water's coming in, and the next thing you know, they're drowning.
Spoken to you?
I have actually received calls from the president, the governor, Senator Scott, and several mayors from around the state, all of them pledging a hefty recovery effort.
Good. If you could give us a sense of the community in Fort Myers, very popular beach town, a lot of economic activity. What's the character of your people?
We're very diverse. We've got a lot of retirees. Recently, we've had a lot of young families move in. We have some sections where there's high levels of poverty. So there's a lot of people who are going to be affected that are going to hurt more than others. As I said, I'm right in the heart of downtown. Almost every business in downtown is flooded.
Oh my goodness. It's going to take a lot to get these businesses and these people back up on their feet. It is interesting that, a lot of people flew down and moved permanently to Florida in the last year or so. they're just,
Yes, they did.
getting walloped right now. Any advice for first-time hurricane people? Maybe they moved to Florida this summer?
Just that we are very resilient when it comes to hurricanes. Our response teams are fantastic. Florida Power and Light does a great job at restoring the power. It does take time. There will be food and water available, and within a couple months, so actually within a couple weeks, it will be getting back to normal.
All right, well, it sounds like help is on the way. Thank you so much. Really glad you're okay, and your people are hanging in there.
Thank you, Jesse.
Hurricane Ian absolutely pummeled Naples earlier today, and the worst may not be over. Graham Peterson is a yacht captain in Naples. He joins us now. I don't know if you heard, I go down to Naples almost every Christmas. I got married in Naples. My heart is aching for that town. Tell us what you know and how are people doing?
Hey Jesse, we're a big fan of you, and yeah, I do hear that you frequent Fort Myers and Naples quite often, so it's been quite
right in the crosshairs.
Right. We were supposed to be ground zero for this particular hurricane. And I think the 10 to 15 foot tidal surge is really what got everyone's attention. Also, with the growing intensity of these storms, people knew that, especially along our coast, we have over 120 miles of waterfront property just in the city of Tampa. So they knew this was nothing to take for granted. And we did see a lot of our Zone A people evacuate to higher ground.
Well, Mayor, we appreciate your time. Good luck, and hopefully you can help some of your neighbors to the south.
No doubt. Thank you very much.
Joining us now, Florida Republican Congressman Byron Donalds, who represents the people in the area of that state being hardest hit. Congressman, thanks for being here.
It's my pleasure to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
You talk to folks in your area, and what are you hearing?
Yeah, I've actually been on the phone with the mayors in my district. What we're hearing, frankly, is a lot of the devastation from the flash flooding that has come through as a result of this storm. The second biggest thing is that we do have some people who decided to hunker down, even though the evacuation warnings were given well in advance. They decided to hunker down, and then when the storm surge comes in, then you're having to deal with that. So we have emergency calls that are on hold right now simply because the wind gusts are still higher than 45 miles per hour, and it's not safe for emergency personnel to go out there. But unfortunately, Southwest Florida is accustomed to kind of riding through storms like this. This one is very different because of the storm surge and the massive flooding that we've experienced all along our coastline.
Yeah, I'm getting images and videos being sent to me from Fort Myers Beach and other places where storm surge, and looking at it, is 12 to 16 feet up to the roof of some of these houses. That is obviously very dangerous in that scenario.
It's catastrophic damage. Unfortunately, what we're starting to see, and we're going to do a lot of these real-time assessments tomorrow to get a first-hand look at what the damage really is. But what we're already starting to see is that there's going to be homes that are going to need some significant work done to them. People are going to be displaced. The number one thing I would say to everybody in Southwest Florida is please stay sheltered in place. This storm is going to move off of our coast, off of our area, and over the next few hours. But then it's going to be dark. It's going to be nighttime. There's not going to be power. There's not going to be street lights. So it's going to be incredibly difficult to make sure you get out there to try to assist. So please stay inside at least until tomorrow morning when some of the emergency assessments will begin. Last thing I'll tell you, Brett, I've been involved in a couple of these storms, most recently Hurricane Irma when I was in the state legislature. The coordination between FEMA and the Florida Department of Emergency Management has been exemplary to this point. That's really a kudos to Governor DeSantis, his team, his leadership, and also President Biden making sure that FEMA was ready to respond to all the needs here in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, Florida has a lot of practice with these storms, but this was a really big one, and obviously partisanship goes out the window in times like this. Last word, Congressman, is there an area that, in that where you represent, that you think is hardest hit from what you've seen and heard so far?
Right now, it's really our barrier areas, Marco Island, city of Naples, are severely hit with flash flooding. Fort Myers Beach has been inundated. Cape Coral is being hammered right now. Sanibel Island, Captiva Island were basically the first areas in Florida to take the eye of this storm. It's really throughout the congressional district. We'll know a lot more tomorrow, but it's a very tough time for Southwest Florida. Please, if anybody can help us, donations are fantastic. Please be careful with food because it's perishable. The United Way and contacting our local aid agencies in Southwest Florida is the way to go if you want to provide help.
Congressman, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. We'll follow it closely.
Anytime. Thank you.
We were looking live at or video of Naples earlier of the fire sparks. Remember those lines, some of them are active on the ground. Try to stay inside as this storm continues to go through. Up next, we'll talk live with the acting director of the National Hurricane Center about Hurricane Ian. Keep it here on Fox News.
Our Department of Transportation does have 1,200 personnel on standby to perform cut and toss operations, understanding how important it is to get those roadways clear as soon as possible. Supplies will be brought in by plane, boat, and by high water vehicle.
Now, as of this afternoon, Governor DeSantis says at least 26 states have deployed additional resources, including EMT, fire, and rescue. He also says that he's prepared to ask for more because, Neil, again, we are just shy of Hurricane Ian being a Category 5 storm.